opening section of the Siu Lim Tao little idea form. So these videos will go through each of the sections so you can train alongside them or use them as a refresher. Start off, your feet are slightly splayed, like so, knees not quite touching, but nice and relaxed. Nice upright stance, but no real structure as yet. The first thing we're going to do is draw our hips forward. So the saddle of the hips turn slightly to lower your stance. You're still going to maintain an upright body. Okay. Now, by drawing the hips downward, it's going to lower your centre of gravity, make you more stable. There'll be a counteracting force as well because you need to make sure that your stance is always centred, okay, and central. So, with that in mind, you need to still make sure that your body is nice and upright. So your torso remains like so, proud. Not arrogant, proud. So, hips, like so, nice straight spine, chin slightly tucked in. Hands from the side, come up, okay? If I was to do this without my hips being tucked in, the weight of this is not being countered by my hips, therefore it's going to pull me forward. This is just to remind you that hips go forward, your hands come up, and that counteracts that weight of the hands. Clench your fists, twist all the way around so your palms are facing towards the sky and draw backwards. Okay, knees now bend, use some spring in your step, transfer your weight to one side, left foot comes out and around, transfer your weight to your left foot, leg comes in and around, and readjust as many times as you need to. So you end up with your feet just slightly wider than your shoulders. So for you, it will be one normal relaxed walking pace. So for me, that's here. Too wide, and I'm very strong, but not very mobile. Too shallow, and I'm very mobile, but not very strong. So it's that middle ground. So let's review where we are so far. Saddle of the hips are pulled forward. Chest is nice and proud but not arrogant. You've got two opposing force, one pulling you towards the ground, which is going to be your hips, and your chest is keeping you upright. See from the side to here. Once more. Hips, hands, clench, twist, draw. Bend your knees, transfer your weight to one side, out and round. Transfer your weight to the left leg, out and around. If I was just to go straight into the leg swing, okay, I'm going to be unstable. So I transfer my weight to one side, so I can do this as slowly as I like. Equally with the hands are clenched and drawn backwards. They're away from the chest and nice and high. This is supposed to be a bit of a strain. It shouldn't be painful, but it should be slightly uncomfortable. You have to focus on these hands all the time because they'll naturally just relax into this position. Your shoulders will come down, your shoulders will sag, but this is where you're strongest. This is only a training stance, okay? Backs of the hands are facing towards the ground, tops of the hands towards the sky. Your shoulders aren't up, shoulders are nice and relaxed and down for all of this form. This does a few things. It encourages you to breathe through your dantian, through your stomach, rather than high through the chest. It also stretches your pectorals. Most of Wing Chun is conducted using your back muscles and your triceps. This is teaching you to exercise and stretch those antagonistic muscles, i.e. your pecs. Hands are also high, so you have to purposely maintain a focus as to where they are. The next part of this form is we're going to show where the hands can cross and where the maximum extent of our reach is. So, hands are going to come to the centre, 2 Wu Saos, as high as you can whilst engaging these back muscles. This is all about finding where your back muscles are and the limitations. So, hands come out here, as high as you can, until your shoulders take over, and that's where you stop. So my shoulders are still fully locked in place, so this is where I stop. That means I'm still very strong in this position. Any further, I can still block, but the weight's going fully on my shoulders, which aren't as strong as my back muscles. So, I'm forward, and high, out to the side, again find that maximum extension of those lat muscles, your back muscles, down, feel the extremity of where they are. Again, arm is slightly bent. Okay, now we're going to extend these arms out, left over right, crossing at the wrists to the centre here, clench and back to where you started from. So what this is telling us here is where we're strongest, where we can block and engage our back muscles to make sure our blocks are as effective and as strong as possible. This part here, left over right, is telling us where our wrists can cross. Now, throughout the Wing Chun system, our shoulders don't move from this position, okay? They're fixed points, hips and shoulders. So this is telling you where you can use both hands simultaneously as where you're strongest, and also when you can use two hands at the same time. It doesn't mean you can't go beyond that, it just means that this is weaker. So an emergency block might be here, high bond cell, okay, it's still a good block, but it's not as strong as a bond cell being here, okay, which is a lot more fixed, and I'm using my lat muscles. To recap, hips, hands, clench, twist, draw. Bend your knees, left foot out and around, transfer your weight, right foot out and around. Make sure you readjust, check your stance regularly. So, knees are slightly bent, hips are pulled in, proud chest. Also you're going to bend your knees slightly into the centre as well, so you're trying to spread the weight across your feet equally. Most people walk with their weight on the outside of their feet, which is why their trainers wear on one side. So just bring your knees ever slightly in until your feet are flat to the floor. The centre, the extremity of your lat muscles, down the side, straighten your arms, cross wrists, here, high, clench and draw. That's the first section of the Siu Lim Tao.